In this video, I will show how to create a Codename One application using the jDeploy plugin. Codename One, if you're not familiar with it, is a framework and toolkit for building native mobile apps in Java. Very similar to Swing, but it is geared towards mobile applications that would be deployed to iOS and Android. With the jDeploy project, you can also build a desktop application and deploy it with jDeploy, just like with Swing. Using Codename One also has other targets, including Windows UWP and JavaScript. You can build your application as a pure JavaScript application. So with the jDeploy IntelliJ plugin installed, I'm going to click on New Project, and this gives me an option for jDeploy because I've installed the plugin. I have a previous video that showed how to create a project using the Swing template that you might want to check out because I cover the plugin in more detail than I will here. I'm just going to focus on the Codename One template for this video. So Codename One will be the option I'll select. My GitHub user is where the repository for this project will be created. So in this case, if I go to github.com, that's my user. So the project will be created under this user space, depending on the name that I give for the project. I need to use a GitHub token, my personal access token here, so that it is able to communicate with GitHub and create the necessary repositories. You can use a private repository. I demonstrate that in a separate video, but in this one, I'm just going to use a public repository. So I'll click Next, and it's going to ask me, okay, test CN1 11. So it's CN111. Just to name it the same as my Swing test. And that's going to create a project, so I'll press Create, assuming I don't already have a project by that name. Apparently I don't, because it was able to create the project without any errors. It recognizes that this is a Maven project, so I'm going to click OK so it can load it. And the template is the same as what you would get from the start.codename1.com, which is the website that you go to generate a new application, generally for Codename One. This just uses the same template. I am going to make one small change here that you won't have to do. It's because there's a change that is not available yet. Snapshot. But it is in the snapshot. So I'm going to Maven reload. By the time you're trying this out, you shouldn't need to do this. Now the change that I wanted to access was in the Codename One plugin that configures IntelliJ. Yes. So this is just going to add some convenience options to my list here of run configurations. So you see now I have a run in simulator option. Like I said, you shouldn't need to make any changes for this to occur. It's just because at the time I'm recording this, it hasn't hit Maven Central yet. So if I want to run this basic app, this is what it looks like. It's just a hello world application. And so it's going to fire up the simulator. Okay, so this is what the simulator looks like. It looks like, oh, I've got it in a separate window. There's different configurations. So yeah, so that's as an iPhone app. You can change to the desktop skin if you want. And that's what it looks like as a desktop app. And you can download a whole bunch of other skins If you're interested in learning more about Codename One, I encourage you to check out the Codename One website, as there's lots and lots of toys to play with there. Now, just to look at the project layout, most of your code is going to be in this common submodule. And you can see what this code looks like. It creates a form. It's got a hello button, action listener. It's got a side menu. You see, it looks very similar to Swing. And if you are familiar with Swing GUI development, you're going to feel very comfortable working with Codename One. Now let's take a look at GitHub to see where this was generated. So we'll go to test CN111 is where it would have created the repository, and there's all my files in the same repository. As soon as it was created, it kicked off a GitHub action to generate a release that is synchronized with the master branch. So let's go and take a look at the releases. There's a release called master that is automatically synchronized on every commit with the master branch. And you can see I have these installers. So I can download the Mac installer because I'm on Mac. And there it is, double click, jump through the hoops, open, and this will open an installer so that I can install the app that I just created. And I've got options to add to dock, desktop alias, and there's update settings. I'm just going to leave all that standard. Gives me this standard dialog, which you can customize to show a different homepage if you verify your homepage. But by default, it's just something to ensure that users know what software they're installing before they install it, and so that they trust whoever made it. And that's it. So we see that, oh, there's my application. There's the icon there, test CN111. It's got master after it. It's also added it to my desktop there, and I can open it directly. Let's see, it's opening there. Splash screen as it downloads very quickly. And here is my app as a desktop app. Hello world. Welcome from Codename One. So that is how you can deploy it as a desktop app using jDeploy. But you might also be interested, if you're using Codename One, in some of the other targets it has. And currently jDeploy doesn't automatically build these, but if there is demand, I can look into automatically generating some of these targets. So we can build Android, iOS, JavaScript. It's got a separate Mac desktop and Windows desktop builds that don't use jDeploy. If you were submitting to the App Store, these are what you would want to use, as jDeploy is not set up for App Store type distributions. But as an example, if I wanted to build the Android version of this app, an APK, I could just click there, run the target, and this is the first time I'm running that, so, and it automatically opens the Codename One dashboard, and so we can see it's got my previous releases. I wonder, oh, I think I have not logged in yet, which is why, oh, I think it needed me to log in first. So I am going to rerun this because I had not logged in yet on this computer. And this time I anticipate that it should work. I have not set up my Android certificate, so it's just going to use a temporary one. Not sure if that will work. But now going back into the Codename One dashboard, let's see, it is building the app, and this will just take a few moments, but you get the idea. When this is done, I'll be able to download my APK directly. And this is the real power of Codename One. The idea is you build your app once, you can deploy it to the web, to Android as a native app, to iOS as a native app, and also as desktop. So this plugin for jDeploy is convenient to be able to display the desktop version and distribute it as a jDeploy desktop app.